Scramble pass going to Samuels, right side of the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
A cutback. It's a sprint to the pylon. Touchdown, Matthew Day.
Go, take what you want. Are you ready to head for fun? Everything you got, man. Everything you got. You got to focus. You got to play with heart.
Here comes the rush. Hennessy throws, picked off by Fernandez at the 30-yard line.
How about that Wolfpack?
The Dave Doeren Show is presented by Coca-Cola. Any down can be the one that changes the game. So try the play where you go big on refreshment. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By North Carolina's electric cooperatives, powering and empowering the people and communities we serve. Your Carolina Ford dealers. Find a great deal on your perfect Ford. Make a connection today at your Carolina Ford dealer. And by Delta, official airline of NC State Athletics.
NC State was on the verge of knocking off the nation's third-ranked team on Saturday, but the Wolfpack missed a field goal at the end of regulation, and then Deshaun Watson cashed in. In overtime, he throws a touchdown pass, and Clemson hangs on to beat the Pack 24-17. This is the Dave Doeren Show. We welcome you this week with the head coach of the Pack. I am Tony Haynes. And Dave, 2 years ago, I remember your team went down to Clemson and lost a lopsided game 41-0. Is it important for your guys right now to understand how far they have come in the last 2 years, and important for them to understand the fact that this can be a really good football team in the second half of the season?
It is. I mean, there's progress that's all over the place on film. It's just you want to savor the progress a little bit more than we got to. It was a tough loss, you know. I mean, there's a lot invested by these kids and coaches, and I'm proud of them for their efforts. But, you know, there's a lot of plays out there besides just the kick.
Yep, that's for sure. 4-2 now, NC State. That's the record. 1-1 in the ACC. Next up, another tough road trip to Louisville next Saturday. NC State has a full-time nutritionist on staff. You're going to meet her this week here on the Dave Doeren Show. Also on Pack Profile, Mark Thomas catches up with a former great Wolfpack linebacker who is now the strength and conditioning coach at NC State. A full recap of the Clemson game straight ahead. You've got the Dave Doeren Show.
Darling, I was made for you. Darling, I was made for you. One thing that is true, darling, I was made for you. I was made for you.
My new friends went online and challenged me to find their perfect match. So, let's see how we did.
We look good together.
I think I'm in love.
Nice job, matchmaker.
Thanks. With everything Ford has to offer, power and performance, smart technology, and 5-star safety, it's easy to see why Ford is America's favorite brand.
Now, get 0 for 72 on a well-equipped 2016 F-150 or Super Duty.
Make a connection at your Carolina Ford dealer today.
When my heart was failing, these are the hands that used the latest technology and research to save my life.
These are the eyes of my UNC Rex Heart and Vascular team who saw a solution for me when others did not.
These are the minds, hand-selected for their expertise, that saved my wife's heart when she was out of options.
And we are the hearts
that beat strong.
Because of UNC Rex.
As usual, the atmosphere was electric down at Death Valley. NC State and Clemson go toe-to-toe, and the Tigers finally survive in overtime, 24-17. And Dave, you look at this football game over 4 quarters and the overtime. The Wolfpack had 4 takeaways, finished +2 in turnover margin. You limited Clemson to just 2 plays of 20 yards or more on offense. In retrospect, did you end up doing a lot of the things that you felt your team needed to do in order to win?
Yeah, we did. You know, I mean, we knocked their tailback out of the game. We had 2 goal line stands, 4 takeaways, didn't give up explosive plays. You know, offensively, we struggled with penalties in the red zone. It really hurt us. But, you know, found a way in the 4th quarter to have some really good drives and put ourselves in a chance to win still. And if you would have told me that, you know, those were going to be the stats at the end, I would have taken it 100 times. You know, I mean, I thought the guys really executed in a lot of ways as well as they could.
Defensively, what did it take to control their chunk plays? They're really good at that.
Well, I mean, we played off. We played help coverage in several situations. I thought Coach Hucks did a good job mixing in, you know, some different things to help the corners. You know, we didn't challenge them at the line as much as, you know, at times we probably should have, but they're such a good explosive offense. We felt like that we could get takeaways if we made them earn it, and we did.
And if you're going to play that style of defense, one thing you got to do is tackle well.
Yeah,
and that was a key coming into the game. And your kids really hit hard in this football game. Dravius Wright forced a couple of fumbles. Was he kind of the heart and soul of your defense?
I thought he played out of his mind. I mean, that play he made on the goal line in 23 years is one of the best football plays I've ever seen. To stand up a tailback on the goal line, rip the ball out, and recover it yourself like that, I mean, that's phenomenal football play by him.
Well, one thing it's hard to do is confuse the great quarterback Deshaun Watson. But the first play of the 3rd quarter, he threw a ball and Mike Stevens kind of got in the way. What happened on that play?
It was one of those plays where you know, it was a run play that had pass options to it, and we were playing cover 2 on that side of the field, and Mike did a good job being in throwing lane. You know, jumped up, made a great play, and took it to the end zone. So it was really a big play to start the half, and I thought we played well, you know, the start of both halves, which was one of our goals, was to start fast in the game.
Well, Clemson led 10-3 at halftime, and only because Mike Williams caught a touchdown pass near halftime.
Yeah.
So the game's under control at that point. Your offense did some really good things in the 1st quarter, keeping Clemson off balance, and certainly the Clemson defense was on its heels. And you're in a good rhythm offensively. How much does it hurt your offense when you have those 1st down penalties that kind of take you off schedule?
It killed us. I mean, we had 5 drives in the red zone and got 1 touchdown and 1 field goal. So, I mean, that was the game, in my opinion. I mean, we had 6 penalties in the red zone, 2 drops, and 3 missed field goal opportunities. So, I mean, there's a lot of points that could have gone our way down there that didn't.
Matt Day's finished with 106 yards rushing. He is a tough little tailback. It's the 5th time in 6 games now that Matt has crossed the 100-yard barrier. Struggled a little bit to run the ball in the 1st half, but they really got it going in the 4th period. What did it take to get the running game going then?
Grit. The guys just kept battling, you know. I think Coach Ledford and the offensive staff in the run game had some things that they just stuck with and adjusted well, and they played a lot of 5 down on the line of scrimmage to cover our guys up and put us in one-on-ones, and I thought the line just battled, you know. The running backs Matt ran hard, and the tight ends had their part in it too.
As you said earlier, there are a lot of plays in a football game over 3.5 hours that ultimately determine the outcome. But the way it is in society, people will focus on what happened at the end of the game, missing the field goal at the end of regulation. How important is it right now, Coach, for your kicker, Kyle Bambard, to feel the support of his football family?
Yeah, I mean, he's a part of us. No one feels worse than Kyle, I'll tell you that. He cares a lot, and we all feel for him, and we'll all be here to support him, you know, and hopefully it's a moment that, you know, he can recover from quickly. He is a talented young man, and unfortunately it didn't go his way.
Tough ball game down at Clemson, the Wolfpack falling 24-17. The Pack is now 4-2.
I think it was in the 1st quarter. You know, I was just, you know, trying to make a big play for the team, you know, to help us get momentum, you know, because they had a good crowd. You know, we wanted to kind of get that crowd down. So, you know, we just wanted to go out there and, you know, just start fast. And, you know, I was able to make a big play for us. I mean, we had confidence coming in the whole game. I mean, it wasn't like we didn't have confidence coming in the game. We had confidence coming in the game. We knew that we could play with them. They just thought that we couldn't play with them. And we wanted to prove that.
Just, you know, trying to hold on to the ball, trying to get us down there in field goal range. Thought we did a really good job moving the ball. Ran the ball really well, and at the end of the day, you want to run to win. That's what we did. I mean, there's definitely a lot of positives, but at the end of the day, I think this was our game to win, and I think we let it get away from us. I think we beat ourselves at a lot of moments in the game. But like you said, there's a lot of positives to take from it, and it's a great football team, and it's a great stadium, and it was loud today. So at the end of the day, we just got to not beat ourselves. But we'll bounce back from this.
This year, NC State is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Carter Finley Stadium. The greatest rushing performance in the history of the stadium came compliments of the incomparable Ted Brown, who piled up 251 yards on 37 carries against ninth-ranked Penn State's vaunted defense on November 5th, 1977. Among other things, Brown ran through all of his number 23 jerseys, forcing him to wear the number 19 by game's end. Like many of Brown's records, it's a mark that still stands today. More of the Dave Doeren Show in a moment.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Get to your local Nissan store today. Take on sudden stops. Get to Nissan, proud partner of NC State Athletics.
Darling, I was made for you. Darling, I was made for you. The one thing that is true, darling, I was made for you. I was made for you.
Estimating Foxtrot Alpha Sierra Echo Lima. Delta 185, flight control, how do you copy?
Once you get out here, there's just one direction. Forward. One time. Now. And there's just one sound. You and us together, telling the world we're coming for you.
Along with NC State head coach Dave Doeren, I'm Tony Haynes. Thank you for sticking around. You got the Dave Doeren Show. Well, the Wolfpack football players are world-class athletes. As such, they've really got to take care of themselves, not only with the conditioning, but also with nutrition. And Dave, you have a full-time nutritionist on staff. Her name is Diana Wynn. Have your players really bought into what Diana is preaching?
Well, Diana and her staff are really hard-working group of people down there, and they get here early. They're here when our players are here. They do a good job. You know, our strength staff's a part of that too. Tim Roberts does a nice job communicating with them and making sure we have hydration, and we look at their weights every day and making sure they're eating the right kinds of foods, and then having enough variety at the food line up there where they want to eat. You know, I think that's part of it too. You know, it's hard to ask a guy to eat if he's not enjoying the quality, and so the quality of the food that they're getting from our chef is really good too.
Well, it's been said, you are what you eat, and that certainly applies to the NC State football players. Please meet Diana Wynn.
I've been with the football program. I've been at NC State for the past almost 2 years. So I'm full-time with football as well as other sports. So we do a lot with fueling the athletes. It's much more than just eating. It's much more than just feeding them. It's very much integrated with strength and conditioning. It's integrated with sports medicine, making sure that medically they're okay, making sure that medically they're getting what they need nutrition-wise. But also, nutrition complements what the strength and conditioning coaches do, in that it helps them to build the lean mass that they want, help them to either build up or lean down. So it's a very important component of football in collegiate setting or in any setting.
Right.
Pre-game meal is very important. I never throw unfamiliar foods at them for pre-game meal. It's all very familiar. They know the routine. It's the same thing every time. I'm very specific with how the chefs prepare the food, making sure it's lean meats, not too much fruits and veggies. We want to focus on good carbohydrates to give them good energy for the game. I actually get comments from the chef upstairs that the guys have increased their fruit and veggie consumption consistently and significantly since I've been here. So that makes me really happy to hear. They ask me good questions. They're understanding the relationship with nutrition and performance. I did a bod pod on a guy this morning who said that he never thought about nutrition before coming here. He never really understood the importance of it before, when he was in high school, and he didn't have this kind of resource available. To come here and have me here all the time with them by their side all the time is a huge asset. So it definitely, again, it complements what strength and conditioning is doing, working together with sports medicine. It's very much an integrated unit. We work together to make sure the guys have what they need so they can go win games.
This week's Pack Profile, we're with the Director of Strength and Conditioning for the football team, D'Antonio Burnett. And, okay, let's clear that up for the people. This is Thunder Dan, right? I mean, that's how people know you. So, okay, you're Coach Burnett, but Thunder Dan's still around here. How difficult is it to kind of decipher between the two for you?
Well, these days they pretty much call me Coach Thunder. So it just rolls, it sticks. It's been a name I've had for a long time, so I just roll with it.
All right, so you come to NC State, play linebacker. People know you as not only a run stopper, but a guy who could make some plays. But you're here at the same time as LeVar Fisher. I mean, did you guys have kind of a fraternity of linebackers while you were here?
Oh, we really did. I mean, we're number 1 and number 2 all the time. And tackles, he was number 44. I was number 45, the man in the middle. I mean, we had a lot of fun, and also had an opportunity to play with Clayton White, who is also on the football staff here. It was a blessing to have an opportunity to play with those 3 guys.
All right, well, then that leads us into the portion of the show where we're going to see how many statistics you really do know. You talk about tackles. How many total tackles do you have?
I think it's 476.
476. There you go. Good job. And second behind?
LeVar.
Now,
I think he moosed a few tackles, but we'll give him that.
All right, there you go. Most tackles you've ever had in a game?
26, from what I understand.
Okay, because I've got 24. Now, what game was it?
Clemson.
2000?
2002.
Okay. So now you're sure we'll get this fixed now. It's 26, right?
I think it was 26. I know I missed 3 tackles.
If it was LeVar, it would have been 35.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, there you
most definitely.
Total career interceptions?
4.
4. Yeah, good job. Yeah, I was worried about that one too. Yeah, but that wasn't your forte,
No, it wasn't. I was a run stopper, man.
There he is.
In the middle.
So you come back here and you get to coach strength and conditioning. So how did that whole thing work out?
Well, I actually got picked up with the Steelers as a free agent in 2003. I got released. Once I got released, I came back and interned for a semester. Once the semester was over with, they actually gave me an opportunity to be a grad assistant starting that summer. I took it and ran with it. Was a grad assistant for 3 years, and then once Tom O'Brien and his staff came in, they hired me on full time, and the rest is history.
You get your first opportunity to be the head guy this past January. How big a deal was that for you?
Oh, it was huge. It was one of those things, I always tell guys I'm blessed to have an opportunity to be here at my alma mater, to actually be in a position of leadership, and not only be in a position of leadership, but also be in a position where I can serve and give back. And so for me, it's way bigger than just a job. I tell people it's my calling to actually have an opportunity to be here and be amongst great young men.
And be able to develop guys like, well, I don't know, maybe some guy like this, Mario Williams.
Yeah.
So you were here when he was here. What kind of monster was he in the weight room?
Oh, he was a freak in the weight room. The crazy thing is, my senior year when we played in the Gator Bowl, Mario enrolled early, so he practiced with us, and we knew that he was going to be a really good player. So once I came in, I was a young guy in the profession and had an opportunity to work with Mario a lot. Even during his tenure in the NFL, when he had a few injuries during the season, he came back in the offseason and trained with me a few times as well. But he's a great guy. But with a guy like him, he makes strength coaches look really good.
Well, good. Well, man, it's great to have you here, and boy, the product on the field looks pretty good. Keep up the good work, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Yep, there he is. Thunder Dan, D'Antonio Burnett.
Now a look at the NC State record book.
By the numbers, the 2003 Wolfpack offense was the most explosive unit in school history. Anchored by quarterback Phillip Rivers and receiver Jericho Cotry, the 2003 offense holds school marks for total offense, passing yards per game, completion percentage, yards per play, and points. The offensive coordinator that year was Noel Mazzoni, now the coordinator at Texas A&M. Dave Doeren Show returns after this.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Get to your local Nissan store today. Take on sudden stops. Get to Nissan, proud partner of NC State Athletics.
Estimating Foxtrot Alpha Sierra Echo Lima. Delta 185, flight control, how do you copy?
Once you get out here, there's just one direction. Forward. One time. Now. And there's just one sound. You and us together, telling the world we're coming for you.
Darling, I was made for you.
When my heart was failing, these are the hands that used the latest technology and research to save my life.
These are the eyes of my UNC Rex Heart and Vascular team who saw a solution for me when others did not.
These are the minds, hand-selected for their expertise, that saved my wife's heart when she was out of options.
And we are the hearts
that beat strong.
Because of UNC Rex.
Now a look at the Coca-Cola calendar. NC State will be back on the road against another nationally ranked ACC team next weekend. The Wolfpack faces off against the Louisville Cardinals. 12 noon will be the kickoff time. Pre-game coverage on the Wolfpack Sports Network is 10 a.m. In between now and then, we'll have the Dave Doeren Radio Show on Wednesday night. It originates live from the Backyard Bistro in Raleigh. All fans are invited to attend. Listen in to Coach Doeren between 7 and 8 p.m.
The Game 7 Scouter Report, the Louisville Cardinals. And for the NC State Wolfpack, look, you're going to go on the road. It's a difficult environment, not tough. It's not like it was, we'll say playing at Clemson. But for the Louisville Cardinals, yeah, they've got a lot of weapons. Everybody's talking about them. We're going to focus on a couple of blitzes and really some plays that make them so good, at least thus far. First of all, on the defensive side of the ball, Bobby Petrino, he does not like to face a 3-4 defense, so that's why all his teams are going to have 3-4 with multiple blitz packages and in this nickel personnel. So even though you see a down lineman, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 down linemen in this particular blitz that we're going to look at, it's a pressure to the basically what they would consider the backside, and it's coming out of a nickel personnel. So what you'll see is this line, they're going to shift over, okay? James Hearns, defensive end. I'm going to tell you, this guy leads the team in sacks, spends a lot of time in the backfield, number 99. You want to watch out for him. Devontae Fields, okay? His hands down, then he's standing up, number 92. You got to know where these outside linebackers are. They can play defensive end. They're outside linebackers. That's why they wear those 90 numbers. The nickel backer comes cushing into the outside. You know right away something's up because I got my strong safety in the box up top, strong safety outside, and all of a sudden, backers dropping out, and I've got basically a 1, 2, 3 strong pressure, strong safety, nickel backer, and James Hearns coming in on that backside. So you got to be able to protect. Know where these guys are. They're wanting to basically outnumber you on one side of the football and create confusion with not knowing who these defensive ends, outside linebackers are. And then on the offensive side of the ball. All right. Here it is, Lamar Jackson. Everybody's talking about him. Heisman Trophy type guy. He can run, he can throw. It's incredible to watch this guy play. But here's an instance that makes him so unique and why you're essentially going to have to put a spy on him wherever he goes. Look at this formation, okay? We got rid of the front side receiver and onside receiver. So all of a sudden, one side of the ball has a tackle there on the left side. So the tackle's at the end. This would be an alert right away. On the front side, you've got a receiver that's also on the line of scrimmage with a tight end. This is a running formation. Louisville runs out of this formation 100% of the time, which is basically a strong slot is what it is. But because I've got a tackle on the left side, be alert, it's a run. But this is why Lamar Jackson is so good. Essentially, we have a running play to the front side where he's reading the defensive end that's coming up the field. Okay, now look, we got a right tackle not blocking anybody. You don't even have to block. You don't have to block for Lamar Jackson. He actually takes the fake to the running back, and then this guy the defensive end, number 42, he is supposed to be faking off of. Lamar Jackson just outruns him. We don't even need to worry about blocking everybody. We're just going to outrun people. And that's why he's so difficult to defend. And you see Lamar Jackson, you got to contain him. You got to know where he is. You got to contain him. He's the quarterback with the football, but look, he's going to make some plays. And that's a scatter report for Louisville Cardinals, playing really good right now.
All right, thanks, Mark. Another tough test for the Pack next Saturday as NC State goes on the road to Louisville, but the Wolfpack certainly got to get its mindset right as we begin a new week. And earlier on Sunday, Coach, your tight end and captain, Cole Cook, put out a tweet, and he said this. He said, "I love my teammates, and we're going to continue to strive for perfection at NC State." Does that set a pretty good tone for what this week is all about?
Yeah, I mean, Cole's a captain. He's ultra competitive. He hates to lose, probably more than he likes to win, and that's what makes him a guy that I love being around. You know, he comes from a great family, and everybody here wants the same thing. We want to be champions, and the process of getting there is just continual improvement in our daily lives and our practice routines and our habits, and it's going to happen. It is, and you can see the progress everywhere. It's just getting through these tough days like today.
Well, heading into the game against Duke Friday night, Louisville was averaging over 600 yards per game. They were averaging better than 50 points per game, but Duke kept that game under control. Louisville ended up winning 24-14, but over the next 24 hours, are you curious to take a look at that tape and see what Duke was able to do defensively?
Yeah, I am. I watched some of it live, Friday night at the hotel. Duke plays hard, they always have, and we watched them on defense getting ready for Notre Dame, so, we kind of have an idea schematically how they play, but Louisville's averaging over 50 points, like you said, and has one of the most dynamic players in the country in Lamar Jackson, so it's no time to lick our wounds around here. We got to get back to work.
All right, go get them, Coach.
Thank you.
It's been the Dave Doeren Show. We'll see you next week with a recap of that game against Louisville.
The Dave Doeren Show has been presented by Coca-Cola. Any down can be the one that changes the game. So try the play where you go big on refreshment. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By North Carolina's electric cooperatives, powering and empowering the people and communities we serve. Your Carolina Ford dealers. Find a great deal on your perfect Ford. Make a connection today at your Carolina Ford dealer. And by Delta, official airline of NC State Athletics.